Thank you so much for staying with us, everyone. We've been talking about the fight against corruption. Mr. Malachi Ugomado, a legal practitioner, has been talking to us on the program. Well, let's quickly touch on the issue of Mr. Musiliu Obanikoro, who has just returned to the country. The talks are that he has been invited before now, because some of the people that have been fingered in this matter have been invited, and some of them are arraigned in this matter. What do you make of these arms deal? Because a lot of talks have been on these over $2 billion arms procurement scandal, but again, we've not really seen any cogent prosecution or any of these cases laid to rest since it started. But talk to us about what you make of this process involving Mr. Obanikoro.
Well, I don't think there's anything spectacular about Mr. Obanikoro's case. It cannot be as much as even the judges who have been apprehended. I make the point that Mr. Obanikoro is a citizen of Nigeria. He was a former minister of defense, or Minister of State for Defense. He's also a notable politician of the PDP extraction. But I don't think that, with respect to the investigation of suspects, including Mr. Obanikoro, if he has been invited, as I understand it, makes any difference. I think that the time has come where the Nigerian people will decide one way or the other whether we indeed want to clean our country and free it from the yoke of corruption. Indeed, Section 15 of the Constitution, dealing with the fundamental objectives and directive principle of state policies, clearly gives out the abolition of corruption as one of the cardinal objectives of state policies. And therefore, I think it is gratifying to note that a government, an institution or institutions have summoned the courage to begin to deal practically with the behemoth, the mammoth challenge of corruption in our country.
Because, Mr. Ogumadu, what some people have said that it looks so much in perception that this fight against corruption, largely people that have been involved are people of the PDP extraction, just like you've mentioned, and they wonder that it looks like a witch hunt, it looks like they're running after political enemies.
I think that has been a popular refrain from the time that these anti-corruption agencies were created, as far back as 2003. We're all in this country to know that it has been the popular refrain. If you have a PDP in government, they say it is witch hunt against the APC. If you have APC, they say so. In a sense, it is a class. It has turned out to be a popular refrain, one that clearly clearly undermines, what the ball is. And I think that is not the issue. The issue is, are we, as a country, prepared to exit this trajectory that have landed us where we are? Take your arms deal investigation and trial, for instance. I mean, we lost soldiers. You could see the agony that our girls who were just rescued, the tales of the woes of their agony and ordeal. And this is a situation in which Nigeria as a state would have suffered less if the monies appropriated for the procurement of the arms and ammunition to deal and prosecute this war were deployed precisely for what they were meant for.
Some of the criticism about recently is, for example, some of the judges involved in that in the raid a few days ago had come out to the roads from some of what we read in the papers, the roads to the NJC, stating how they have been, the raid took place, and some of these things comes to mind that, is it the right thing to do, for example, for DSS to carry out that kind of operation where 45, according to the judge who said about 45 men came knocking on his door in the middle of the night. One will wonder, is that the right thing to do?
Well, I think that it is not a very simple question, neither will it require a very simple answer. But to take us back is to say, it doesn't help to say this is a witch hunt, because I don't think that any of these judges belong to any of the political parties. But
for example, they have said that this is a witch hunt in the sense that they've been involved. For example, an attribution to Justice Ademola, who said, "Look, I'm being witch hunted because I'm involved in the case of Nnamdi Kanu. I'm involved in the case of Dasuki. The Attorney General of the Federation also had come under disciplinary measure, which of course I had to withdraw a case." These are some of the issues, and this is just a vendetta, according to him, from the report that we read.
It was fascinating too to hear the response of the Attorney General. Look, as a country, I think that the victims are the Nigerian people. The response of the Attorney General, and I'm not holding brief for him, is that please keep your powders dry. Any of these which you can put up as a defense will avail you during the crucibles of trials. And I think the country is waiting to see how precisely all of those will amount to a defense with respect to the categorical allegation or accusation against any of them.
We understand that he was asking the NJC to permit him to sue the DSS and the state over this matter.
I would hope and believe that the NJC will have no hesitation, if that is what it takes for members of the judiciary to be able to sue. I had thought that that is automatic, particularly with respect to Honorable Justice Nnamdi Dimba, who clearly was not the person sought after, but was, was handled in the way and manner that he was handled. I think he reserves the right to bring a clear case of abuse of fundamental human rights, not just of his privacy, but of his dignity of human person, as well as other reliefs that can be added onto that. And I think that the window is open, and just so that once and for all, we take concrete advantage of some of these concrete issues to put to rest
because
these controversies.
As a close, someone I understand now is in court, sued the DSS, the Attorney General, and the case involving the NJC and some of the judges, about 50 billion naira in the manner in which the DSS has gone about this case.
Democracy itself is a clash of ideas. And I think that what has happened with the fundamental right enforcement procedure rules is a revolution of a sort. You don't need to be the particular person whose right was violated before you can go to court. I think you can do that by process.
You think this government is doing the right thing?
Well, I believe that the fight against corruption must be intensified, even much more than what is going on at the moment.
Mr. Malaka Gomadu, legal practitioner, rights activist, talking to us on this program. Thank you so much for talking to us.
A pleasure.
Right. Many thanks for being part of the show. On behalf of the team right here on Channels Television, bye for now.